Hello everyone, I'm Michelle,
I'm Joel.
I'm Paul.
and today we are at the Wine Vintage Cellar. Come with us. Everyone, today we are at the Vintage Wine Cellar with Chad. My name is Michelle, this is Chad. Today we'll be asking him about pairings and what he thinks about it and his recommendations. So Chad, how do you feel about our toasted Hawaiian sweet rolls with ham and Swiss cheese paired with the 2017 Decoy Sonoma County Merlot?
That's great. So I think that's a great pairing. Merlot goes really well with, normally I would start with a white wine, but since you're having it with that cheese, I think the Merlot is gonna meet the cheese with like a nice medium body that's gonna be good. So I think that's a great choice to start with a soft Merlot for the appetizer.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So my pairing is a Farniente Chardonnay with a surf and turf, so lobster tail and sous vide tenderloin.
Yeah, Chardonnay goes great with like lobster bisques and stuff. Like that's like where it shines, and is when you pair it with seafood, lobster that has like these buttery components and which go into Chardonnay, which on its own a lot of people don't like, but when you put it with something like a surf and turf, it's like really good.
So one of our entries of Kahlua Pig. So it will be paired with Copeland Creek 2005 Pinot Noir from Sonoma, California.
Yeah.
How do you say about that?
That's another great choice. So you can go a lot of ways with this one. So the pork is fattier. It's not super flavorful like you would get like a steak, like with all kinds of seasonings and stuff. Kahlua pork is like barbecue, right? So it's going to be a little bit fatty. So some good things that would go with that would be Pinot Noir, like a good medium-bodied Pinot Noir. Make sure you come here and ask us for the right one because some of them are kind of weak. You want like a good medium-bodied one, and then you could also switch that out with Zinfandel. So Zinfandel is known to have like a spicy component to it, which might make it more fun, like with pork. Which, in my experience, Kahlua pork can be like boring. You have to add sauce or you have to have that right wine with it. So I think both of those would work. Or even if you want to go completely other direction with it, something sparkling would work, like a sparkling wine or like champagne if you have it. Would go really good with pork. It's the bubbles kind of counteract the fat, and it makes it like more pleasant. I think that there's a bunch of different directions you could go with the pork. I think which one was it? The Copeland Creek. I haven't had that one, but Pinot Noir is a good choice for pork, for Kahlua pork.
Okay. How about, what can you say about Moscato with a fruitcake?
Yeah, so that's very sweet. That's a lot of sweetness going on. Well, it's actually, fruitcake's not super sweet. Moscato is pretty sweet for wine. It's because the fruit, depending on how sweet the fruitcake is, you can even get like a sweeter wine. We have like, if you've heard of ice wine, Sauternes from France. Other ones we have from Hungary that are like really, at their sweetest, they're almost syrupy. Right? So like that can go really well with like, a lighter dessert like a, fruit cake or something. But if it's already really sweet, Moscato is a really good pick because you can't go wrong with that for dessert wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Oh, thank you guys.
Oh, thank you, Chad, for your interview
thanks,
today.
Michelle.
Really appreciate it.
Of course.
Come check them out at the Vintage Wine Cellar, and we'll send the address right on the video. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. So, Mr. Chow, about our appetizer. It's toasted Hawaiian sweet rolls with ham and Swiss cheese.
Then you should have a more buttery, sweeter kind of wine. That's why I suggest the Riesling and Chenin Blanc because it works well with the ham, which has a little sweetness and saltiness, and the cheese and your sweet bread.
The 6-ounce lobster with sous vide beef tenderloin with a side of cream of polenta and steamed asparagus. The wine pair is a Far Niente Chardonnay.
It's a surf and turf, so it depends. You know, Fanente Chardonnay is more a full body kind of red wine.
For our entree, which is Kahlua pork, is the Copeland Creek 2005 Pinot Noir.
That's fine because your Pinot Noir will be work fine with a lot of the
Does
the
it blend with the
entree
smokiness of the Kahlua pork?
Yeah, they will work with it.
How about for the dessert, which is a fruit cake? The wine pair is Moscato.
Moscato is fine. You know, any kind of sparkling wine goes well with, in general, everything. Moscato, prosecco, or if you want to serve even a port wine with it, is fine too.
Oh.
Yeah. So you don't have to use all just bottled wine. You can use a port wine with it.
Mm-hmm.
A port wine is more sweet and so it works well with your fruit, dessert because it countered acidic and also the sweetness.
Okay.
So that may be something you can think of instead of just bottled wine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chan.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. So I'm here to demonstrate our dessert, which is a fruit cake. So here are my ingredients. So I have the butter, I have the brown sugar, I have the ground allspice, I have the ground cinnamon, I have the ground nutmeg, I have the dark corn syrup, and the 4 large eggs, and I have the all-purpose flour, baking powder, and I have the walnuts, and I have these preserved fruits which was marinated with this gold rum for 24 hours or overnight, and which will be paired with one of our dessert wine, which is a Moscato, which I will tell you later. Okay, so let's go.
So this is the creaming process of our dessert, which you just basically kind of mix the butter and the sugar together.
So I mix it with the spices, and now we're cracking eggs and adding it one at a time while stirring it, as you can see. So we need 4 large eggs for this one.
So currently, we just added our flour, dark corn syrup, and water. We will now add our marinated fruits with rum, and we're adding the walnuts to our batter.
Alright, so we're pouring it in the springform pan, ready to bake. We're done putting it in the springform pan, so we put it in the oven under 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour.
Hello everyone! For our appetizer, we chose toasted Hawaiian sweet rolls with ham and Swiss cheese. For this, we paired the 2018 Chantal Saint Michelle Riesling. So this Riesling is soft on the nose, it's crisp and not so dry. Therefore, its sweet notes highlights the sweetness of the Hawaiian sweet rolls and the ham and Swiss cheese.
The first entree is going to be a lobster surf and turf, lobster tail, and sous vide tenderloin, paired with a Far Niente Chardonnay, which Chardonnay is very versatile. This particular Chardonnay is subtle, toasted oak, and there's full bodied, almost like a white cab, in my opinion. But other contrast with dinner meats like chicken, fish, or whatever. So it's very versatile. Through our research, our interviews, we have found that this wine is an excellent pair for this dish.
So for our second entree, we have the Kahlua pork, which is paired with the Copeland Creek 2005 Pinot Noir. because this kind of wine has a light, delicate quality that engages with the port, according to the research and according to the interview with one of the sommelier in KCC. And finally, for our dessert, we have the Barefoot Pink Moscato, which we're about to eat right now. So each one of us has our own slice. And we're going to taste it. Yeah, for me, it matches with the taste of the fruits since we use the fruit that was marinated with the rum for overnight. So it blended with the sweetness of the Moscato. How about you?
I think that the taste just perfectly balances everything. So with the cinnamony taste and the sweetness of it, and just this light rosé, it pairs really well.
I have to agree with Michelle, and like, I don't know if else to say. Disagree. That's not present. So this is my fiance, Kiala,
Hi everyone.
and she has no part in the food industry whatsoever. So we were kind of interested in to see her thoughts and our pairing to see if it works or not.
Thank you.
Here's it. See how it goes.
For the wine, I believe we have a pink Moscato. I would say that the wine is pretty smooth with the fruit cake. It's pretty moisty, it's pretty soft, a little bit crunchy on the outer part, and I can taste more of the caramelized sugarish on the top part of it. There's quite a few exotic fruits, and for me, it tastes extreme. I wouldn't say extremely, but it's not soft. It's not soggy. It's not soft. Just right. I like the part that it's not super sweet. As far as the wine, I would say that it's pretty smooth. I'm not so much of a wine person, so it's hard for me to give that pairing part. But as far as the smoothness of it, I would say that it's right for not being too sweet. That's it. It pairs well. That's it.
So this ends our video presentation for Bar and Beverage Management class, project number 1. Mahalo nui loa!